What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be doing a video showing you guys how to replace your alternator on your 95 to 2004 Tacoma, your 2000 to 2004 Tundra, 95 to 98 T100, and your 96 to 2002 Toyota 4Runner. I had to write a cheater list to remember all that, but the reason that all of those are going to be the exact same process is because they all do have the 5VZ-FE engine, which is this 3.4 liter V6 here. So it's, like I said, going to be the same process on all of them. This one specifically is a 97 4Runner. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, the first step of this process is to, of course, remove your negative terminal on your battery. It's just a 10mm bolt, and I'm tightening it. Alright. So with that off, next you're going to go onto your alternator and remove this 10mm grounding bolt off to the side right here. Okay, once you've got that one off, you're going to go ahead and loosen this 14mm bolt up top. Don't take it off, just loosen it. And then there's a 12mm bolt on the bottom. Not sure, probably not going to be able to see it really good. But yeah, from right there you can kind of see it. Right there. And then there's another 12mm bolt right next to it on the other side. So that first one I was talking about is going to be like right here, and then the other one's going to be like right here, facing that way. So you're going to go ahead and loosen both of those enough to take the belt off. One of these, like a flat one like this, works probably a little bit better if you can get in from the underside. And sorry for all those of you who have skid plates. You probably figured it out by now that you need to take your skid plates off. I don't have any on mine, but yeah. Alrighty, so with that, we got the belt off right here. And the next step is going to be to remove this 14mm bolt right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, there it is. So now you're going to go ahead and, I guess you could just do this before or after you take off the alternator, is to take off this plug in the back. Just take like a screwdriver or something and pry this plug out, and then you can wiggle around the alternator. And there's probably, I think there's a little grommet washer inside right here, so it might be a little hard to get it off, but just wiggle it around and it should come off. And with that, the old one is out and the new one is ready to be put back in. So let's go ahead and do that. So what you'll first do with your new one here is get it down there and put the 14mm top bolt on there. Don't tighten it yet, just stick it in there enough to hold the alternator in place. Alrighty, so here we are a few hours later. Like, I actually had to let it sit overnight and work on it for quite a while today. I hope this step goes a lot better for you guys than it did for me. Like I was talking about earlier, that little washer that sits in there, it just would not physically allow the alternator to slide in for nothing. So it was just a complete nightmare trying to do that. Had to have a couple other people help do all sorts of things to get leverage on it and use pry bars and everything to get it up in there. But finally got it in there. I got the 14mm bolt to hold it on, and like I said, I hope it goes a lot better for you guys than it did for me. But anyway, after you get that bolt in, you'll go ahead and stick your little tensioner thingy back on down on the bottom here, those little 12mm bolts. Stick the little T-shaped thing in with the shorter end facing this way, and then the longer end facing towards the side of the car there. And you're going to go ahead and tighten that 12mm bolt. See if I can get it. Yeah, that one right there. You're going to go ahead and tighten that one up, and that will tighten the alternator on. And as you can see, I've slipped my belt on, but that'll move the alternator towards the camera, which will tighten the belt. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys, and then get up there and show you how tight your belt needs to be. So let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so after messing with the tension thing that goes out that way, like I said, just tighten it or loosen it. You should have, you know, roughly, if you just push down in the middle here, I've been told you can get like 1/2 inch to 1 inch of deflection, something around there, where the belt's going to go down. So just push on it with your hand and just make sure you've got, you know, what you judge to be, you know, roughly 1/2 inch to 1 inch of deflection going down in the belt there. And of course, then If it's not tight enough, once we start it up and it squeals, we could just loosen the bolt here and tighten it up a little bit. But I'm guessing this is going to be probably pretty good right here, so we're going to go ahead and try that. So now what you're going to want to do, if you're happy with the amount of tension you have, is go down to the 12mm bolt that you've got on the bottom of the alternator there. That faces this way, just the shorter one. You're going to go ahead and tighten that all the way to set the tension. So let's go ahead and do that. And now that that 12mm bolt is tightened, make sure your alternator is in there all snug, nice and tight. Check your tension again, just make sure it hasn't moved much, and then you can tighten up the 14mm bolt. Alright, now you're going to go ahead and plug your back plug in and put your little 10mm grounding bolt back on. Silly me, that's not a 10mm. There it is. Okay, next step is reattach your negative terminal here. And now for the test run, let's go ahead and start it up and hope it doesn't squeak. Alrighty, next step, if your belt didn't squeal, is to pat yourself on the back. And last but not least, reset your digital clock as well as your radio stations and jam out.